session, about 3 minutes into the previous one, started having some issues and it said that I couldn't connect. So sorry about that. And I was just getting into the good part and explaining what was going on. I'm sure all my live notifications will get things going at this point. And I'll be ready in a moment. Sorry about that. Copy that. Go here. Here. Save that. And when I go to, hey, be careful up there, bud. Channel contents, live control room. Let's make sure it's working right now. I think you're good. I don't want to. No, I don't want to paste that. Okay, so I'm just getting everything rolling, and I apologize for the delay, and I apologize that I have to restart it, that I restarted it, but YouTube was giving some sort of issue. And once I get here, let me copy this, paste that. Message. Okay, so let's see how long the delay is for my view. All right, there we go. Okay, so restarting the video. YouTube, for some reason, crashed or had an issue. And today, what I've been looking at and a project I've been exploring and started last night was doing some not wood block carvings, but the easy material carvings, and then printing them. These blocks, I got in bulk off of Amazon. They were cheaper than the Speedball carving blocks, which are the Speedy Carve. I think that's the name for it. They're 4x6. Some people say these ones are a little bit more difficult to carve compared to the normal ones, but that being said, I haven't used the normal ones. I have one somewhere, but I don't want to try it yet. So then I'm still just learning the whole carving process. What I did was make a kind of template shape where on a piece of paper I can kind of sketch out an idea, turn it over, rub it so that the image transfers, and then carve from there. Then do a ink print of it, and the goal is to put it into bookmarks and have kind of a series of bookmarks. These would be either things that I would give out to friends or add in sales whenever I have anything on Etsy, or farmers market collections. But the sales haven't been taking place too much, but we're rolling into Omelette Festival season, so we'll see what happens there. Anyway, I'm going to start a few different ones. The whole purpose of today's live session, usually I'm going live later on in the day. I am just doing this as more of a hangout type session. So for people to drop by, come in the chat, give the channel exposure, and to see what everybody's up to. So with this one, I did a quick little sketch of a cat, and this would be part of the bookmark series. I'm thinking about what other animals I'd want to put in, but that being said, let's transfer this image over to the block, and I want to be able to fit 2 images per block. So we'll go right about here. And I'll use my spoon to help transfer the graphite. Well, this is kind of like a carbon based. This is the Stadler Mars Black pencils that I'm just transferring. Gives us the idea of the cat, and then from there we'll carve it out. A few things. I'll wind up having an image on this side as well. And I have found that if I, let's say, mark, gives me an idea of what on this finished area is going to be in a bookmark. So let's start by outlining the cat. I think that this one, I'll do my dark areas as my raised, and then we'll play around from there. A lot of the carving and the printing is self-taught. There are a few YouTube videos that I have referenced, and they were very helpful. Simple tricks is simply rotating the block underneath the carving will help out. I'm going to go for the lip, the bottom of the mouth. Hey, how's it going, sir? How you doing today? And I encourage people in the chat to say hello and to hang out. The whole purpose of today is just me wanting to do art and just kind of get a hangout going. And if people had any ideas, questions, comments. So it's no landscape painting today. Next Saturday, barring bad weather or rain, I'll have a farmer's market. It'll be the first one I did in a few months. It's been very, very rainy down here, and watercolors and other things are not conducive to that. Oh, thank you. Yeah. The first session that I had started up of this, YouTube just kind of crashed. So hopefully the link that I have up now is working. I think that about here will be my bottom edge. I don't know if you saw the bookmarks that I did yesterday and posted online on my Facebook page. Okay, now over there. We go to the wider one. This is a really fun process, but it's just looking and learning how to do all this. And the end prints will be on pages from an old book that is either outdated, has been weeded out of a library, damaged, etc. And I have my sketch here to kind of get an idea of where I want things to go. My dark areas for this one will be my raised, and that'll be the part that will take the ink do this side of the cat's body. Yesterday I did a Alphonse Mucha-esque one. Let's see if we come up and I have nothing except for here, the center of the cat's legs. So I can bring that up. And I can draw directly on this if I need to build up some lines better. Like this right here. The tail's going to come around in front. Cutting around those small eyes are going to be difficult. They do have some hair that'll come out the ears. I don't know if I want to. Maybe I'll do that. Good morning, Miss Bonnie. How are you? I didn't do my 5 o'clock this evening live session. I'm not sure if I will or not. We finally have gotten to the time of year where it's not raining as much. And yesterday was the first day I was able to get out and do the long distance longboarding and skateboarding. And I actually had beat my record time. I had an average of 9.3 miles per hour. So I was really excited about that, especially not having been able to ride for a while. And I was starting to feel kind of chonky with all the kind of sitting around, not doing much outdoor stuff. So I'm using this deep carving one for just these whole areas, just to pull all that out. I am working on the back of the ones that I carved. So this is part of the BookMarks series that I'm working on. And I had mentioned somewhere else that I'm a big fan of Art Nouveau. That's like your Alphonse Mucha was kind of the big guy in the movement. But I don't paint or draw in that style. So like you can appreciate a style, but not work within it. But I feel like this medium is a way where I can actually do something in that style. So this is kind of loosely based off of The Cats by Steinland. He did a lot of cat stuff. I think they were used for posters and other things. I don't know if he did the Absinthe posters or if that was Toulouse-Lautrec. Is that the pronunciation there? And I think I also did a kind of book review on the Steinland's cat book that I had gotten. Just had a series of sketches in it. And really good way to learn. I'm using the #1 carving tool to get around these thin lines. A Speedball carving set will come with it's 5 or 6 cutting devices. A size 1, the smallest, a size 2, a 3, and a 5, and then there's the knife size. Having a second one, there was a pack of 2 on Amazon, I think, and having a second one allows me to have another one ready rather than switching back and forth. So there's that. For those of you that are interested in getting into this method, I believe I bought the Speedball Deluxe carving set off of Amazon for a little bit less than $50. And that set came with a carver, came with a inking tray, a roller, one of these, one linoleum, large thing of black, 3 colors, and I think a mixing or a thinning medium. So I think that was a good purchase. I have been mentioning how I want to purchase a printing device, essentially just ink and to apply the pressure. Right now I've been experimenting with the spoon and just kind of hand pressing using the roller. I bought a cheap $20 pasta maker to try the dry point and the intaglio. Hey Percy, you want to see the cat that I'm drawing? And this is the number. Percy, seriously? You're gonna wind up knocking everything, baby. But Percy, say hi. Say hi, Percy. Okay, and now take a seat. So anyway, so the number 5, using that to really pull out large areas. And if you have any suggestions for the other half of this block to carve for a bookmark, let me know. I was kind of thinking a fleur-de-lis floral design. There's a few different ideas. Oh, it's something cool that you can do. I'll show you right now, because I'm going to use this throughout. Take a piece of charcoal or a pencil, and I'm using Conte. I could put that right there. I could start getting an idea of what is going to come through and what's not. I haven't carved much, but it's just essentially kind of pulling a little bit of a relief. We have the nose, the ears. I don't want anything over here, so I'm going to pull this whole thing out. I found that I had to be meticulous with cleaning these, Like the pieces that I cut, I'm putting on a piece of paper to throw away. Otherwise, they get stuck in the folds and they get in the way of the ink, or they get stuck in the ink and it causes issues. So maintaining a clean carving has been very important for me. Let's pull this out right here, alongside the nose. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Phillip? You all having a good morning? What is everybody up to on this Sunday? You guys got any art plans? I'm gonna pull out this whole area right here. I'm not sure if tonight at 5 I'll go live with painting. We'll see. Okay, so you're doing art later, some flowers in the journal. Okay, that's cool. Well, first of all, so Bramall, what type of flowers are you doing in your journal? Are you doing botanical, or are you kind of just doing like fast and loose flowers? And Mr. Phillip, boat on the lake, plain air. Oh, that sounds so nice. What region are you in? I'm going to pull this whole out right in here. USA? Yeah. So I'm down in Louisiana, and if I try any plein air with watercolor and I paint wet and wet, my my paper dries before I even put the sky in. Oh, I didn't know you were in Scotland. We finally started getting cooler temperatures down in Louisiana. We were in the 87 degrees yesterday. I was finally able to mow too, with the finally a lull in the rain. Apparently it rained last night though. Let's pull this out. A little trick that I saw online was to put your other finger there to kind of stop your pressure, to prevent it from going right off and going right through, to continue going forward. We can get an idea of how the cat's face is going by continuing with the rubbing. We're starting to get some, but you could also see areas that I did not carve down low enough. So this whole thing is creating a line right here. So that's a second trick I learned off of a YouTube video. YouTube's a great place to learn stuff. Ooh. So loose botanicals. Curious what brush you're going to use for those. How's the weather been up in Tennessee? I want to say Tennessee is about a 9-hour drive from here. Use my reference. I'm going to come up to the other side of this cat's body. And this whole area is going to be white, so I'm pulling this up. Coming up to the other side of this center of the cat's body. There you go. Skipping right there, so there's a little variation in that line. It's been in the 90s with 90% humidity for months. Finally had a good rainstorm push it out, and today is my day to enjoy it. Oh man. In the 70s with 93% humidity. Wow. How's the temperature in Scotland? I mean, it's amazing how much of the famous British watercolor painters did a lot of work in Ireland and Scotland. I guess you all have better scenery than England. I'm gonna come up here. Okay, I want to figure out the front toes and how I want to do that. Then my tail. I could use the big one to go along that edge. Pull this corner out. So you just see how I'm using the pointer finger from my right hand to stop it from slipping. I know that cutting towards fingers is not a bright idea. So if you ever decide to follow along, don't do that. Pull out this area here. Yeah, I'm jealous. I wish it was autumn. Hey, Ham. Yeah, it's weird in Louisiana where we just don't have like an autumn or a spring. It just seems like we go directly into some sort of winter that then immediately goes right back to summer. And if we have a freeze, it's just absolutely devastating. If we have a freeze, usually school will get canceled because of the roads, but also because people's pipes burst, the school's pipes burst. So a lot of the houses down here have raised houses, and they're not on like a slab, and the exposed pipes will often freeze. I first, Hammy, watch you now, bud. My first year living in this rent house, I wasn't sure what to do with the freeze coming on, so I went outside to go turn the water off to the house, and I was turning it on and off, and it wasn't changing anything. Then I realized my neighbor's water meter was on the property that I rent, so I was turning his water on and off. Let's pull that out right here. Get a little bit of tail. But yeah, that was pretty funny. I actually had found like another water meter hole with no water meter in it. And apparently back in the day, there was like another house in the property behind the house that I rent. I'm gonna try to pull out some toes. And I had finally got a chance to mow, and with all the rain, I found a cement slab in the backyard, so I guess it just kind of washed away all the dirt from years and years. I'm wondering what was on that cement slab. Or if the cement slab is like used to cover up an old septic tank or something. Let's see if we can get an accurate depiction of what this one's going to look like. Oh, if you want to link anything in the comments, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine, but you guys are more than welcome to share resources and ideas. It's, like I said, more of a hangout session, or if you want to share your Instagram or anything like that, if you want to put a link in there and show off your work, that's totally fine by me. I'm just all about us building that art community. Hopefully I can get Joe and Matthew to a Zoom meeting soon where we can do more live art talks. Yeah, I grew up in New York, and I think just all the pipes were in the walls or underground, so no freezing was taking place. I had coached powerlifting for 8 years, and they had a competition up in, where was it? Up in Wisconsin, and I stopped at Chicago because I was the one driver all the way up there. It was 13 hours one day and then the rest the next. And that second day we stopped in Chicago and saw the lake that it sits on. I'm not sure what lake that is in Chicago, but it was just so beautiful. It was just so blue. All right, so I'm gonna do a second carving on this side. Lake Michigan, that's what it was. It was just so pretty. And they had the sculpture of the bean, and the kids really enjoyed that. So what I'm doing is I have a relatively basic template for a piece of paper that would fit inside a bookmark. So that's the inside area that I'm going to sketch within. I'm going to do a quick sketch and then I'm going to transfer it over and we're going to carve the second side of this. Yeah, the older gentlemen, Matthew and Joe, have really delved deep into the history of the fast and loose watercolor painting, and the knowledge and information is really, really cool. Debating, well, I'm going to do a fleur-de-lis. I'll just get some general proportions. And then I'll kind of, I wonder if I should freehand sketch. Let's see. Inside, inside, inside. Okay. So if I cut this paper and find my scissors. So this is just like a really basic sketch, and there is concern that it'll be difficult to work off of because of how basic it is. But what I'm doing is just laying it here. Use a quick spoon to just rub and transfer that carbon, that graphite. That should give me somewhat. Do I have enough room on that side? Yeah, I do. Okay. This is the HB, so let's switch to something darker. That's something I do seldom see on this platform. It is the foundation of art creation. Yes, freehand it. What do you mean? The carving? Is you seldom see it, or the conversations? All right, I'm gonna take this, do my print again. Right to about hell. See what type of transfer we get. That should be good enough. photograph. There we go. Oh, the actual drawing and sketching. Yeah, Percy, come on. Sorry for that noise. I have a salad container that I had saved up for the whatchamacallit, I can't think of the name. The dry point etching. And I haven't cut it to different sizes yet to sketch into. Yeah. I think with this one, I'm going to carve the fleur-de-lis out. So it'll be black surrounding. And we'll just kind of freehand this. I would like to turn the live the chats that we put up, the real-time ones, into almost a kind of podcast. You guys know at this point that I'm a school teacher, and that I just genuinely enjoy the teaching and the conversation. And sometimes I feel that need isn't satisfied through teaching. Yeah, so I'm just going to freehand carve this, and we'll see how it comes out. With carving curves, just rotating the block itself is the best way to get that. And I found for me, if I do like a fleur-de-lis, which is relatively symmetrical, I have to do one mark and then immediately do the mark on the other side. And that's the best way for me to match it up. I know I could use different types of tools to do this. Like the compass to get things nice and rounded. I can use my stencils to get things nice and rounded. But I have trouble with meticulous prep going into artwork, so it's just kind of the way I am. Unless, like, let's say I'm on lunch duty, or if I'm just at lunch, I can sketch a transfer image, but no. Anyway, let's see where y'all are at. Oh, okay, so yeah, teaching is really all right. So a few things. So for some reason I haven't been able to carry the chat over into when the live video gets posted. But to give some background, I had bought the Speedball Deluxe set. The Deluxe set came with a carving tool and the knives. It came with a large thing of ink, black ink, the larger tube size. There's a large container size as well. And then it had 4 smaller tubes of ink that were smaller than this, primary colors and the clear. It came with this table inking. It came with a roller. I don't have the roller out. I have a different roller out right now. It came with one of these carving blocks, and it came with a linoleum carving block. And I think it came with instructions, but that was about that. So that was about $50. That being said, oh, she just bought the supplies already? Okay, cool. Yeah, the blocks are like super expensive and they are all sold out everywhere. So I've just been really going off of cheaper Amazon blocks. Went to Hobby Lobby the other day and they had some of the gray Jack, I'm not sure if it's like Richardson or Jack Richards, gray, I think it's like Easy Carve blocks for their brand. I haven't tried those yet, but one was about $6, the other one was about $8. The 4x5 ones, sorry, 4x6 ones are pricey, unless, like I said, the Amazon knockoffs. That's what I'm using right now. So there is definitely a monetary investment, but so far everything's been good. I haven't sold anything yet, and that's kind of the reason why I'm doing these bookmarks. First, as a art experiment, and second, as just a means to hopefully, you know, put more money back into it, or to pay off what I had spent on this. But US for the Speedball size is, I think, $5. Knockoff, $2 in bulk if you spread the price out. So hopefully that gives you some ideas. But I'm glad that y'all are getting into it too. I'm curious what results y'all wind up having. I had never wanted to do block printing until I saw a video where a lady did a dry point etch and how cool it came out. So I tried that, and then immediately started looking up the monotype printing, which I started doing some videos on. That's where you're essentially painting with the ink and then doing a single transfer of the image. And like, one of the things that I guess concerns me, just from like public perspective, is that these type of things, it's essentially stamp carving, and even though it's easy, you know how like people put oil painting above pencil drawing, you know, there's kind of a unspoken hierarchy of mediums and materials. So I'm worried that people won't truly understand the time and the effort and the process. And the funny thing is, and I don't know why, I always wanted stamps, like the rubber stamps as a kid. And I don't know why. It might have been just me going into art stores and them always having a big section of stamps. Let's hold on to that. In a few minutes we'll ink up the plate and start rolling out and seeing how the printing looks. This is the number 1. I think I was using the 5 for most of this. So I'm excited, and I hope you all are excited to see the fruits of the labor and what the prints will look like. I have read over and over again people saying that if you are going to get into it, use the Speedball carvers. Don't bother with store brand carvers or the cheaper ones on Amazon. That the Speedball is the best introductory one. And that was like a lot of different websites saying that, so keep that in mind if you want to get more tools. And apparently there's top of the line expensive ones and probably Japanese handmade ones, whether that's more for block carving or what, I'm not sure. But you then probably also go into the realm where you're going to have to sharpen your tools and materials. Yeah, well, thank you. Let's bring this up to connect to that. Let's bring one out to connect up. Let's get a little bit more detail, just kind of playing around. I think I could always come back and add more. So let's go on to the inking stage. I'm going to throw away all these pieces. So like I said, they get in the way of the paper and the pressing. Done with this. All right, so we're going to use some cheap copy paper first, and then I'll show you where the main part of the experiment is leading. Move that onto the side. That. We have our ink. I'm really not sure how much ink to put out. I've been experimenting, but I'll just kind of put a line out. I have a narrower roller out that I picked up off Amazon, but the Speedball roller is good. I was just using this to do the monotype, sorry. I found that I really have to roll it out thick. I think this is where classes and having a professional person really would have helped. You can see this piece right there. I would have blocked that. Sometimes community colleges or local colleges will do kind of like adult education courses, or you know, a printing night type deal. And I think this initial rolling also gives me an idea of what needs to be cleaned up. But just using copy paper at first, it seems to be hit or miss taking a roller and using that to apply pressure. I would like to get one of those block presses. I think that's what I'll kind of fundraise towards with like the super thanks and the Patreon and all those things. So right now just using different types of devices to try to get that transfer to happen. I think the cheapest pull down ones are about 80 to 100 something. All right, so here's the two prints. We can see where the cat is messed up, while the fleur-de-lis is pretty straightforward. And if I wanted to embellish upon that more, I can do that. Whatever happened to vocational schools? Didn't they used to offer graded all classes at reasonable prices? Yeah, we have SLCC, which is the community college. We also have UL, University of Lafayette. Those are the two that are close. So I'm curious what is available. My coworker's cousin is in the art department at UL, and my coworker had went to a little seminar where they did the carving. All right, so now, honestly, I'm not too sure about how and if you should carve whenever it's wet, but I have been doing that in order to clean things up. So that's what I'm going to do. I did my initial print of the cat, and I could see what areas are causing issues, such as this line right here. And these might be called artist proofs. Some of these little, I guess there's little terms for these raised areas that at the end in the final printing product, if you like them or not, I'm going to pull those out. I left some in yesterday's works. Pull this out the cat right here. Using the bigger one. This Speedball block printing ink does clean very easily. We have these lines that were a little too raised, so I'm going to pull those out as well. I'm going to sharpen my year point. I do wonder, linoleum versus wood versus this, how detailed you can get and how sharp of a point you can get, or how narrow of a line. Pull out this ear whisker, thin that. What else can I fix? All right. So I made a few changes. I'm going to pull that out right here. We'll do another print in a second. Let's see if there's anything we want to add or carve on this guy while we have it going. I'm going to move this paper. Let's see. Pull out that big old one. I'll pull out a big old one right here. Add a line right up. Just kind of embellishing a little bit while I'm fixing the cat up. There we go. All right, let's do our next inking. And there's a weird kind of phenomenon, because we were talking about teaching earlier and vocational schools, where, and I'm in Louisiana, where people kind of want the title of going to a big school as opposed to a community college. So there's been like a weird backlash against community colleges. Though, as a teacher, I completely agree that not everybody needs to go to college, and that vocational schools are fantastic. You have a lot of kids that go into welding, especially down here in Louisiana. My landlord's son actually went up to Tennessee for, I think, diesel mechanics for a school out in Tennessee. All right, so let's see. We did a little bit of carving. We changed some stuff up. We're gonna pull this one. Let's see if our cat's looking a little bit better. My cat is looking angry. All right. Okay, I'm going to pull out that right there. I'm sure little tweezers would be helpful. Pull that out. Pull that out. Pull this out. Is there anything, oh, thank you. anything jumping out at you, like any part of the cat that you think I should clean up while I'm doing these little cleanups. Could probably feather the tail while I'm waiting to hear what you all think. And then I'll show you the next step of this experiment. It hit me yesterday, and I'm really enjoying the concept, so hopefully you'll like the next part of it. Just doing a little feather on the tail. And if there's anything on the fleur-de-lis that you think you would like to see manipulated, let me know that. This right here is going to come up. Anything else? Like that, like that. Pull that out a little bit. All right, if there's nothing jumping out to y'all, we will then go to our next stage. All right, so this is the cool part. This is where I'm really going with these thinner double images on one block. Let me throw this paper away. I came across a whole bunch of old books that are either outdated, damaged, they were just getting rid of them. And some of them are Shakespeare's works, some of them are short stories. There's a whole bunch of different things. I will have to check, since they're old books, to make sure that there's nothing like offensive in them, because of the end product that I have and the idea in mind. I'll put out a little more ink. I'll get it on the top of the cap and I'll show you. So, all right, I'm excited. And I hope you all are too. So roll some fresh ink out. Really glob it on there. Apparently the intaglio ink that I have, the Aqua, I can mix in, they call it mag mix. I think it might be, I don't know if it's magnesium or something like that, to thicken it up. But right now I'm just using the Speedball block printing ink, especially because of the ability to clean up a lot easier. So I'm rolling it out. I'm taking pages from an old book, using the roller just to add pressure. Like I said, eventually want some sort of press that'll give me a nice uniform pressure distribution. Hopefully that's enough. Then when we pull it, we now have these prints on printed Word. Then from there, I'm going to cut these up and put them inside the plastic the plastic holder, the bookmark holder. I'll show you ones that I made from yesterday. I don't think I posted them online other than my Facebook. But here's the other side of this block that I had carved with the Art Nouveau-esque stuff. My mom asked, is one a male, one a female? And somebody else asked about feathers. And I'm still working on that, getting that down. But these are the end goals. And then cutting them and putting them into the bookmark holders. Yeah, thank you. I feel like the stamp itself might sometimes kind of want the piece of work to hold its own. And I feel like I have done some carvings where it held its own. But I feel as though these are added to by having the printed word underneath it. And with the amount of paper you wind up using for test prints and other things, old books, etc. is, I think, the way to go. I have seen people ask about, let's see, I had seen people ask about watercolor over these. I think that it might lift some. So that would be an experiment we can do down the line and see what happens there. So I think originally, and they still do it, is that the printing inks were originally oil-based, and for some, I'm 36, so for some odd reason I have memories of smells of printer ink, but I have no idea where I came across that and smelled that, because I don't have it. So I don't know where I'd experienced that. But that's probably easier to watercolor over. Could probably spray a fixative on top and then watercolor, and then spray maybe a varnish on top of that to keep that from rubbing. But yeah, so I know I'm not giving a straight answer on if we could watercolor over on top or not. It was something I would have to wait till they dry and experiment with then. Or the printed page might have some difficulty, but we can print onto watercolor paper. We do have, let's see. This feels like a watercolor paper. I'm not sure. Probably Stonehenge Aqua. We'll see what the print looks like on it. Oh yeah, well, thank you. No, I'm curious about that too, because I feel like that's the next logical step in progression, is to, like earlier they were mentioning the botanical paintings or the flower paintings, or fast and loose flower paintings, but starting off with maybe a print of the outline and then watering and coloring inside and doing a series like that would be fun. Of course, seeing how acrylics would transfer would be interesting. Oils, but you would need primed paper or canvas paper. Here's watercolor paper. You can see how that looks there. And this is what I was kind of talking about earlier, where the printed word adds a little extra pizzazz to these stamps. So there's that. I think I will print out the rest of these papers, or use up the rest of my ink that I have laid out, and then start cleaning up. So this one's interesting. Here's a map. And we'll see how that prints over that. All right, map. And then think I'll do one more print after this one. I did read in a printmaking book, the author had said how great newsprint was for printing, and he wished that it had longevity, didn't yellow, didn't have its color, but apparently the material was just great for printing. And there you go. That looks cool over a map. It'd be cool to get some, I think I have an old book with some music bars in it. That would be nice as well. Let's roll out one more. Or use the rest of this ink. And this stuff cleans up super easy. I think this will be the last inking for today. There's some other, I want to do more designs and patterns. And if you all ever have any ideas or suggestions of other type of things to carve, let me know. And if you don't mind me stealing said idea for future carvings, let me know. Because, like I said, the goal is to do a set of bookmarks and things that people would enjoy. I have an old cookbook or two that I'll use the pages from, and maybe do some food themed carvings, and that would be cool. That one hurt the image a little bit due to the location of the drawing at the top of that page. So let's lay these out, take one last look, then we will sign off. If you have any other questions, ideas, comments, let me know. I really like the way the map one came out. Oh, no, it's totally fine. Like, I think that's kind of one of the goals of these whole chat things, is just to like bounce ideas, inspire you, inspire me, for us to just create. Especially since y'all got a set now. I mean, show your wife this, and you're more than welcome to do these as well. I'm sure that did not come up with this. I'm sure people have done these before. Throw this away. But yeah. And if you and your wife do that, I purchased off of Amazon these bookmark holders, and they come with little tassels. There's 100 of them for $10, 200 of them for $15. So, you know, if you guys like this process and want to do it yourself, go for it. And eventually I'll have these up for sale, or just throw them in with paintings if you guys ever want any paintings. But I'm glad you all enjoyed the hangout. I feel like that was another successful live stream. So thank you all so much for coming by. I really appreciate you all. On that note, yeah, like the door etchings, he was absolutely fantastic. I just don't know how they did it so well. And I didn't realize that Rembrandt was a huge etcher. That a lot of those things were in the one book I was looking at had Rembrandt etchings to size, and in the book they were smaller than this, and they were super detailed. So they were just masters, absolute masters. So yeah, I really appreciate you all hanging out too. And I hope you all have a great day, and you all be safe, and have a great rest of your Sunday. I'm going to log off. You all take care. Bye.